Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
I'm ready. Always.
All right. Well, today we're going where no Superman story has really gone before.
Okay.
A world where Superman's secret identity, well, isn't.
Oh, that's right.
We're diving into the aftermath of that bombshell reveal in Superman and Lois using this Screenrant article as our guide.
Yeah. It's a wild departure from the usual Superman stuff.
Totally. Fans are going nuts over it, and so are we.
Absolutely. It's a total shakeup.
Yeah.
Superman and Lois spent, what, 2 seasons building this whole world
Right.
where Clark and Lois are super careful about protecting Superman's identity, teaching their sons to keep the secret too.
Like a whole family living a double life.
Totally. And then, boom, episode 7 out of 10.
I know.
Clark just up and announces it to the world. Live TV.
It did feel like a rug pull, especially that late in the season.
Right.
But part of me is like, finally, it's a new twist.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, come on. How many times have we seen that who knows Clark's secret storyline?
So many times.
It's getting old.
Yeah, it gets a bit repetitive. It's like a trope.
Yeah,
This is definitely a bold move for them.
definitely bold.
Most Superman movies or shows, they drag out that whole secret identity thing.
Right.
People figuring it out one by one.
Yeah.
Superman and Lois. They're like, nope, the whole world knows.
Mic drop.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so fascinating to analyze. Everything changes instantly. We're looking at Superman, his whole world, with completely fresh eyes.
The article claims this move could make Superman and Lois stand out from all the other Superman stuff out there.
Yeah.
Is it really that groundbreaking, though?
Hmm.
Haven't there been comic book storylines where his identity is revealed?
Yeah, there have been some times, but they were temporary.
Oh.
Like maybe a crisis event or mind control.
Yeah.
This is different because it's a choice. Clark's choice.
Got it.
And it's happening in the main storyline of the show.
Not some alternate reality thing.
Exactly. It has way more weight to it. Real consequences that are going to stick.
Okay, so consequences. Let's talk about those.
Yeah.
The article mentions potential for chaos. The writers only have 3 episodes left to deal with this.
It's not a lot of time.
Is that even enough time to do this right?
It's definitely a tight squeeze.
Right.
But sometimes limitations can actually make things more creative.
Oh, interesting.
You have to be super focused.
Yeah.
And that could lead to some really amazing storytelling. Think about it. They've got to deal with the fallout.
Worldwide fallout.
Right. Global panic, political upheaval, who knows?
Uh-huh.
And then, on a personal level, in Smallville, how people react to Clark.
Right.
Plus, they can't just drop the other storylines they've got going. Lex Luthor is still out there scheming.
A lot to juggle.
It's a lot.
Okay, so let's try to break this down. Let's start with Smallville. How do you think folks in Smallville are going to react when they find out that Clark Kent, their neighbor, is Superman?
That's the big question. Is it
Yeah.
just pure shock, like mind blown?
Or something deeper?
I think it's deeper. Think about it. You've known this guy, Clark. Maybe you're even friends with him.
He's been there forever.
Yeah. You're used to him. Suddenly you find out he's been living a lie, even if it's for a good reason.
Right.
There's got to be some feeling of betrayal.
Alongside the awe.
Exactly. Mixed emotions. Some people might feel safer, knowing Superman's right there.
But others,
Others might feel more vulnerable.
like he's been watching them this whole time.
It could be unsettling.
And then there's the global impact.
Yeah.
It's not just that Superman exists, it's that he's been living among us as Clark Kent, blending in. That has to shake things up big time, like on a geopolitical level.
Oh, totally. Imagine world leaders, governments, they all have to reassess how they deal with Superman now.
Right.
Does he become some kind of national asset,
Something to be controlled.
maybe? Or a target for manipulation?
This goes way beyond villains knowing his weakness.
It's a massive power shift.
Yeah.
The whole world's got to figure out what to do with Superman.
So much to think about.
It's a lot.
We're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah, there's so much more to uncover. It's like, does revealing his identity make him more powerful? Or does it actually weaken him?
That's a good question. And you know what? It makes me think about other heroes, too. Like, what about all the masked vigilantes out there?
Right. What happens to them?
If Superman can't keep his identity a secret, can they?
Exactly. It's like the whole idea of the secret identity is being challenged.
Like, is that even possible in today's world?
It makes you wonder if we're headed towards a different kind of superhero.
How so?
Maybe more transparent, more accountable.
Like they're operating in the open.
Yeah. Subject to public scrutiny. Maybe even government oversight.
Superheroes as public servants. Like firefighters with superpowers.
Kind of. I mean, think about the implications of that. Who gets to decide who's a superhero?
And how do you control their powers? What if they mess up? It's a lot to unpack.
It is a whole can of worms. But it's a conversation that needs to happen.
Right.
And I think Superman and Lois is doing a great job of starting that conversation.
Yeah, I agree. They're showing us all the possibilities, the good and the bad, of Superman revealing his identity.
It's making us all think about the role of heroes in our society. What does it even mean to be a hero anymore?
It's not just about the rules and regulations either. There's a human cost to all of this. Imagine being a superhero,
Yeah.
knowing the whole world is watching you. Every move you make is being analyzed and debated.
Yeah, the pressure would be immense.
Could you ever really have a normal life?
Right. It's like a trade-off. You get transparency, accountability, but you lose your privacy.
And for Superman, it's even more complicated. I mean, he's not just any guy.
Exactly. The stakes are higher for him.
He's got to choose. Keep his secret and live this double life forever.
Or embrace a whole new kind of heroism. More open, more vulnerable, but maybe also more real.
It's a tough choice, and it feels like a choice that's going to affect way more than just Superman.
Oh, absolutely. Superman and Lois is hitting on something really big here.
Eh.
Our whole fascination with heroes. We want them to be super powerful, but also someone we can relate to.
To save us, but also to be like us in some ways.
Exactly. And now, in this world where privacy is disappearing, where we're all being watched all the time, Superman's struggle feels even more relevant.
It's like he's a reflection of our own anxieties.
Totally. All this technology, social media, it's eroding our sense of anonymity. We're all having to figure out how to balance our public lives and our private lives.
Just like Superman.
Exactly. And maybe by watching him go through this, we can learn something about ourselves. Maybe his journey can teach us how to navigate this new world where it's harder and harder to keep secrets.
It's like he's thrown this huge wrench into the whole system.
Yeah, he really has.
And it makes you think, like, is this the end of secret identities?
Maybe. Or maybe it's the start of something new.
Oh, interesting.
Like, what if this forces heroes to be more upfront?
More accountable.
Exactly. They can't hide in the shadows anymore. They've got to operate in broad daylight.
Superman just raised the bar for everybody.
He did.
Okay, but think about it. If every hero had to reveal their identity,
Yeah,
would people even want to be heroes anymore?
that's a good point. It takes a certain kind of person to put on a costume and fight crime.
Right. And even if they did, how would it work practically?
I don't know. It would be a mess, probably.
Governments would have to get involved. There'd be all these rules and regulations.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And what about the heroes themselves? Would they be okay with all that scrutiny?
I mean, it would be a huge adjustment. No more secret lives.
You'd be under a microscope constantly.
Every move they make, analyzed, dissected.
It's like, could they even function as heroes anymore?
It's a tough question.
And, you know, it's not just a superhero problem, this whole idea of privacy. It's something we're all dealing with.
In the real world, yeah.
Social media, all the data being collected.
Yeah.
It's like our secret identities are being eroded whether we like it or not.
It's scary, right?
Yeah, it is. And Superman and Lois, it's like they're holding up this mirror to our own anxieties.
Totally. They're taking the superhero story and they're making it about all of us.
Yeah. It's like they're saying, hey, look, this is the world we're living in. What are we going to do about it?
It's a powerful message.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's the takeaway. Superman's decision, it's not just a plot twist.
It's a game changer.
It's forcing us to think about what heroism means in a world where secrets are harder and harder to keep.
Right. And maybe, just maybe, by watching Superman figure this out, we can figure it out too.
Learn how to be a little more super in our own lives.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this journey. It's been a wild ride.
It has.
And until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep striving for a world where truth, justice, and the power of the human spirit, well, they all prevail.